Hi everyone and welcome back. So in the last video we have written these two controllers, file upload controller and file upload process controller, and we are using both the mechanism like uploading a file to the server folder or just uploading a file and directly processing it. And we have created these two routes. One is a simple upload, right, where we have done all these different kind of validation of files. Now if we just look at the Swagger and see how it is working, here is an upload and here is the key name is the file name, right? So let's try a file, upload any particular file, 35, right? We are able to return the file name. That means it is working fine, right? Another is when you want to upload a file to the server, right? So here I will choose a file, something else, and here I will upload, and we are returning this response. That means everything is fine. Similarly, you can also test the multiple upload, right? So here you see the major differences. Here the key name is the file name. Always remember this. Here the key name is the image. How this is being decided, that is in our code. Here you can see upload file annotation, file name. That means the key of that binary file using which I'm sending it to the HTTP API is the file name. Okay, and here it is the file, it is the image, you see, and I'm using the same decorator and same annotations so that my this Swagger can expose this particular field and we can test it from the Swagger only. Okay, so this is fine. Now what we do is we get the file name, I mean you can get the buffer also, and we are going to play with that, right? Like we can create a file service now. So here inside of services I will create upload service, upload service.ts, and another service I will create is file.service.ts. What we want is we want to actually upload this file to S3, and you already know how to access S3 programmatically is you will use AWS SDK, and you need to have access key and secret that you will put in your .env, and if you are using .env or the config module, using both the way you should be able to populate those configs, those environment variable in your process.env. Let's say I'm just using .env. Here I have just did .env.config, right? So what you need to do is simply put everything inside your .env, access key, secret key, and the bucket name for the S3. That's it. Now if I write my file service, simply first of all upload service, and then upload service will talk to the file service, right? So this is my upload service. Here we will be writing the same thing, okay, injectable and all these things. I will just put them, and then we will proceed further. Here I have this as upload service, and I will be injecting file service inside this, because file service is the one who is going to talk to the S3. So let's call this as a file service, and we are going to import the injectable and all. Okay, now we got this, we can import the file service in the upload service. So this is my upload service, this is my file service. This is not using any other third-party service. Okay, what we can do is this upload service will import that file service. Let's rename this, and we will just import this file service here. Now file service will have the exact methods of uploading and all these things async. Here we will do is add avatar, let's say, okay, and here you will be passing only the file buffer, image buffer. Image buffer is of type buffer, and there is another thing is file name, which is of type string. We have these two arguments, right? And what we need to do is, okay, maybe we are going to have a lot of other methods also, so I created this file service separately, and we are going to have another method upload file, and we'll be passing this image buffer as an argument, image buffer and a file name, and I will just returning it because you will be returning some boolean or something like that. The upload file we will introduce in the file service, and this is also async, and it got 2 argument. If it is async, then we have to add a await. Always remember that. Upload file, and it is taking buffer and the file name, because we can add the update, get, delete, all these methods. So I created a separate 2 services, so we can actually have the isolation of the responsibilities. Now this is the service which is going to talk to S3. So what we will do is, we are going to first get the S3 from SDK, S3 from AWS SDK. Okay, once we got S3, we can do a lot of things here. We can create an instance of S3 from new S3, and we have to initialize our AWS SDK somewhere. So that we have to see, because we have to pass AWS SDK access key and secret key, right? So I mean, that is little bit different than what we are doing. I will just add this in the domain module. Here we will do that initialization, so we don't need to pass access key and secret key. And here config.update before starting the application. Okay, we are not bootstrapping here, so let's not move it. In the main.ts, where we are actually bootstrapping the application, what we want is our application, our AWS config is initialized, so we will import AWS SDK, and then what we can do is config.update, we are getting config, and here we will update the config. And this we can just simply get process.env, either if you have a config service, that is well and good. Process.env access key id, yes, update. I mean, there are many ways to get the data from the .env file. You can write here the nestjs config service, you can write your own custom config service, or just use a simple .env module. Now this is fine. We just need to get AWS SDK module that I will import here. npm install --save AWS SDK. Okay, so we are good here. So this will initialize the AWS environment for us. Now we can go to our file service. We are getting the S3 object, and S3 will provide us all these different methods which will help us to upload. Const upload equal to S3 dot. So here we will use await S3 dot. There is upload method that we will get once the module is installed, and here we have to pass bucket that we can get from process.env dot bucket name, and then body we already have, that is the buffer, image buffer, and then we have the key. Key is nothing but the file name, right? So you can actually dynamically create some key by concatenating the UUID. So we can also get the UUID module, and let's say I'm putting the file name. Okay, so we also need a UUID which is not there, so let's install it. I think it's UUID v4. So this is how we are going to upload, and we will be just returning. I mean, this is a callback base, right? So we have to convert it into a promise by just calling a promise method on top of this, and then just return upload, or you can just return on the same line, because it is going to return a promise. This is already a sync method, so we can return this either resolved or rejected promise. So this will tell us the status about if it is uploaded or not. s3.upload. Okay, there is a method, bucket name. Let me just see why it is complaining about this. UUID we can get once this module is installed, and this bucket name, the bucket name which put action was initiated, blah blah blah. Okay, it was just about fixing this payload object. Okay, it should be case should be in the uppercase. That was the problem, and that's it. It should not be empty or null, so I just put exclamation. Now it is fine, right? So this is our upload method, and similarly you can also write the delete and all the other methods which we have, right? I mean, we don't need the delete method for now, but what you can do is you can just specify the key and you can delete the object from S3. So if you wanted to upload, instead of upload, if you wanted to do a delete file, you just need to have the key or just file ID for that. Okay, so you will just provide the file.key. So here instead of, so you will get the s3.delete object here, delete object, not bucket, delete object, and inside delete object you will pass the bucket. So we are passing and the key. So here you will just take key as an input and you will just pass that key. That's it, right? So this is how you will be deleting a particular object, and we are doing a dot promise, so everything looks correct, right? So upload file, delete file, and this can be called from your upload service. Upload service will call this and you will do all these things, upload file, delete file, and these are public methods. So just add the specifiers because my service is going to call these methods, and some ESLint fixes. Okay guys, so this is how we will do the S3 upload. Okay, from upload service you will call the file service. File services has already AWS environment already initialized. Now we are doing the s3.upload, s3.delete object, s3.put object, all these list object, all these methods you can call. What you just need is the bucket and the key, and for upload you just need a bucket, image buffer, and the file name. Okay, you can customize the file name by putting the UUID in the prefix and all these things. Thanks everyone.